Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. Remember when we tried to get that ballot initiative passed in Massachusetts in 2020, the right to repair ballot initiative, so that automotive mechanics and independent mechanics would be able to have access to what they need, the tools, the programming, the documentation, to be able to repair your car? That did pass, but it passed with a lot of opposition. General Motors, Ford, Nissan, Toyota, and Honda spent about $25 million producing commercials saying that people would be able to get access to the data inside your vehicle. They'd be able to control your vehicle. They'd get access to your location, and they would use it to sexually assault you, stalk you through a parking lot, rape you, break into your garage. And one of the questions that came up in my audience when they saw these garbage commercials was, why is my car collecting all this information on me to begin with? And why would somebody be able to control my car remotely, even if they are from the manufacturer? And that's a great question. The problem with a lot of what's in modern cars is not even that your modern car has technology, it's that your modern car has technology akin to Microsoft Windows XP Service Pack 1, which is pretty much means a Swiss cheese of virtually anybody can get access to the data in your car. Whether we're talking about General Motors, which is taking your information on your driving, your turning radius, when you stop, what time you drive, and where you go, selling that information to LexisNexis without your consent, selling that information to insurance companies that then use that as a justification to raise your rates, or companies that just make your location data available to any Tom, Dick, or Harry that has basic AWS systems administration knowledge. It is usually the manufacturer that is guilty of what it is they are blaming independent mechanics and independent repair people of. They try to scare you out of being able to own what you bought and paid for with garbage like this. Before I get into today's news, let's just recap, because this is a video that has been virtually scrubbed from the internet since that ballot initiative was done. Do keep in mind, General Motors, Nissan, Ford, Toyota, and Nissan all spent $25 million combined to have these commercials aired all across the state in Massachusetts in 2020 to try to scare you out of being able to go to an independent mechanic.
If question 1 passes in Massachusetts, anyone could access the most personal data stored in your vehicle. Domestic violence advocates say a sexual predator could use the data to stalk their victims. Pinpoint exactly where you are, whether you are alone.
Even take control of your
vehicle. Vote no on 1. Keep your data safe.
Volkswagen was using Carryad to store terabytes of customer data in AWS, and due to a misconfiguration, these storage instances were left publicly accessible without proper restrictions or authentication, aka similar to the United States nuclear codes between the early 60s to late 70s. No, seriously, that was a thing. Guess what the password was to that for about 12 years. This is another instance of the automotive manufacturer, or the manufacturer in general, accusing the independent repair technician, or just you as a car owner, of what it is that they're doing. They're saying that by trying to make things more repairable, that we are making them more dangerous, that we are a danger to privacy and security and your personal data. Every single time you hear the manufacturer discuss security and privacy and safety, they're usually the ones that are actually exposing or compromising your security, privacy, and safety, and they are deflecting and using those reasons on independent repair shops, independent mechanics, or people that simply want the ability to own what they bought and paid for. Yet in reality, when you take a look at their own actions, whether it is their incompetence with regards to systems administration, or their intentional fucking you by selling your personal data without your consent to insurance brokers and LexisNexis did you ever say yes to that? It's usually them that are doing what they're blaming you of. And this is something that's probably going to continue and continue and continue until people start pushing back against it. Now, one thing that's really important here is to ask this question of the manufacturer, which is, why is my car tracking me everywhere I go to begin with? If I am not using the GPS, why can't I simply turn that shit off? If I'm not using the map, why isn't there like a switch that I can flip that simply disables this if I don't want that to be on all the fucking time? More importantly, why is it that somebody would be able to take control of my vehicle? If somebody can take control of my vehicle simply because a repair mechanic has access to a repair tool, that is akin to me being able to hack into my bank's FTP server because I have FileZilla on my computer. If having a FTP client on my computer is enough to hack into my bank's FTP server, that means that my bank's FTP server likely has the username of admin and the password of 12345. That is not real security. That is security through obscurity, which is not actually security. And any sysadmin that has been working for longer than 1 day knows this, but apparently the individuals working for the car manufacturer manufacturers don't, nor do their lobbyists. My goal is to have as many people as possible ask that question of, hey, listen, if you're talking about my safety and my security and my personal data, why the fuck is my car collecting my personal data? And why is it so difficult to opt out of that? And why do you keep selling that data to other people? The thing that I think is most important above all is to avoid having this turn into a culture war. I've seen many sites talking about how this is an electric car thing. This is an electrical vehicle thing. Those evil electric vehicles are at fault. And this is a great way to create this like Democrat versus Republican, conservative versus liberal fight where we ignore the fact that it is the car companies that are fucking us. Every single car to date that you can purchase that's new, virtually all of them have a little screen on it. They have a GPS and they have the ability to do navigation within the vehicle. What that means is that this will occur whether you have an internal combustion engine vehicle, whether you're using normal fuel, whether you are using diesel, whether you are using premium, or whether you are charging your car in your garage. This occurs whether you have a hybrid vehicle, a fully electric vehicle, a plug-in hybrid, or a standard old gas car. Whether it is your F350 turbo diesel, your Toyota Prius, or your Tesla Model 3. This is something that is going to affect everybody because modern cars have computers in them. And the computers are not the enemy. I like having computers in my devices. I like when my devices are smart, but my devices must be smart on my terms. I must be the one that's controlling them, not the manufacturer. I do not want to see all this pushback against technology, nor do I want to see this nonsense where people are arguing back and forth over electric vehicles as if that matters. My bicycle is electric. It has a great FOC motor controller on it. It does not connect to the internet unless I want it to, and the technology is controlled by me. I love the fact that I can program my electric bike. I love the fact that I can utilize new technology in all these different spaces. I like the fact that I could control my air conditioner from anywhere I want in the world. I like the fact that I have smart cameras in my house, but those smart cameras are controlled by me. They do not connect to the internet unless I want them to, and I can review the source code that is running on them at any given time to ensure that they actually work. Okay, well, not me, I'm a fucking idiot, but I could have other people review the source code on it that have actually passed chapter 1 of Dennis Ritchie's C programming language book, which 2 years in, I'm still fucking with. In all seriousness, my biggest fear here is that this turns into some nonsensical culture war where you have the people that like the Luddites versus the tech enthusiasts, and at the end, or the electric car people versus the F350 turbo diesel people. And it really shouldn't be something like that. It should be all these people coming together and looking at the car manufacturer and saying, A, put a fucking switch on that car that allows me to turn this shit off, and B, above all, why the fuck are you using admin12345 as your username and password? Not the exact issue here, but you get my point. Why don't you allow me to easily opt out of this stuff or easily turn it off when I'm not using it? There is no reason for my car to have an active GPS if I am not actively using the navigation. There is no reason for my car to be online when I do not want it to be, and it should be as simple as flipping a switch to turn all this shit off. B, if you are going to have all this crap in the car, can you at the very least have some security audits done? Because by admitting that this is insecure, when Kerry Goodolges from NHTSA comes out and says that there are genuine security issues and how people could hack into the car and fuck up your car, which I talk about in this video over here. She wrote a NHTSA letter right after this right to repair initiative passed through the court to tell all the automotive manufacturers, by the way, don't listen to this. This is dangerous. This is going to hurt your data. Vehicle crashes, injuries, or deaths are foreseeable outcomes of such a situation. The issue is not whether the repair tool is in the hands of the manufacturer, the independent mechanic. The issue is in the complete lack of security in your systems to begin with. If you have created a system where you never expected anybody else to have access to it, you're probably going to be a little lax in your systems administration if you decided that, I don't know, you don't want to pay the engineers to do it, or you want to spend that money somewhere else, like $25 million fucking dollars on bullshit commercials weaponizing people's sexual assault experiences. This is all bullshit. All of this is complete bullshit. The blame needs to be where it belongs, with the manufacturer. Don't fight with your neighbor because he has an electric car and you have a turbo diesel. Don't fight with your neighbor because you're a Luddite and they're a tech enthusiast. Put the blame where it belongs. The tech manufacturer and the shit-ass regulators that allow this to happen. I'm expected to have better security from my fucking Magento web store where I sell ATN 862s than a multi-billion-dollar automotive manufacturer is for a vehicle that is transporting police, politicians, and, well, okay, maybe people don't care if they know the location of their politician, but you get the idea. That's it for today, and as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you in the next video. Bye now. By the way, a little aside here, I am announcing the creation of a consumer protection wiki. I've done these videos on this channel where I actually read through this stuff. In this video, I go through this entire thing in detail, where I go through the announcements from NHTSA, I go through legal documents, I go through all these scams and garbage that I talk about. I have citations for them, but it's in a video. I want this stuff to be in an easily browsable wiki format. So every single one of these videos, where there's over 1,000 of them, dating back 12 years going over consumer advocacy, I want to have one location location that's very easily searchable that documents every single instance of a company screwing over its customers. And the problem is that the modern consumer stuff, like when you go to CNET, when you go to Consumer Reports at JD Power, sometimes you get something good, sometimes you don't, but they don't really mention these types of issues. They don't mention the device spying on you. They don't mention that the device has to be connected to the internet to work, and they sure as fuck don't update their articles to tell you when that manufacturer has decided to try and force forced arbitration into it, take away your ability to use your device unless you agree to forced arbitration, take away features that were advertised with the device unless you start paying more money as a subscription fee later, or that they have the ability to do that because it's connected to the internet. This is something that Cory Doctorow talked about over 20 years ago, how there were outlets that were reviewing these products and not even making mention of it. I would like to create a centralized database in the form of this type of open wiki where everybody can contribute to it, and I'm going to be doing my best going forward to log every single thing I discuss in this channel. And I also want to go back and go through all of my old videos, find those citations in the description, and add every single instance into this. I realize that this is a total pipe dream, but one of my goals here would be to create something that has so much power among ordinary consumers, the Consumer Reports of the 21st century, that goes over all the new ways that consumers get fucked, that people actually make buying decisions based on it, and more importantly, maybe it actually sways what manufacturers do. Again, is it a total pipe dream? Absolutely, but that doesn't mean that I don't want to try. I'm very excited about this. I'm going to be setting up a MediaWiki instance soon. I am not very good at administering these things, and I sure as fuck have no idea how to professionally run a wiki, but I will be trying. If you have any advice, please do email me at youtube@rossmangroup.com. That's 2 S's and 2 N's, youtube@rossmangroup.com. If you have more experience than me, or which is a very, very low bar here, or you have any good advice from running a wiki yourself and kind of understanding what the pitfalls are of trying to do something like this, or the traps that newbies fall into, I am all ears. No ego here. I know that I'm an idiot when it comes to running these things, and I need your help if I'm going to turn this into something great. That's it for today, and as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.